ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-dum, ba-bum, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Monday night mini medicine card readings. I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman, and we are going to pull some cards. So if you are new here, the way this works is the first 6 people to come on and to say yes in the comments get a 1-card reading. And make sure I wasn't sitting on my own little animal. But we work with the medicine cards, which is working with the various totem animals. So, like I said, the first 6 people to comment yes get a 1-card reading. And if you want to just watch, that's fine too. You know, I always tell people that, you know, even if you don't have a card, or even if you do, to pay attention to the other cards, because there's usually messages in other people's readings for you as well. So I see there's a couple people on, but I'm not seeing any comments. So come on in, and if you would like a 1-card medicine card reading. Oh, here they come! Yay! We open. Okay, so we got Anna and Kristen. Hi. All right. I know it's a really nice day out, at least it is around here, so it could be that it might be a quick night. Might not be as many people coming on, but so, and if you're watching this on repeat, after I posted it, and once we finished the video and I posted it back on my Facebook page, no worries. You can always choose a number between 1 and 6, and then just watch the video and see what that card number, what the message is. So, and my only request is that you please share my video. I'd like to expand. This is my day job, and I'd like to expand my business. I'd like to help as many people as I can. And you know, my job as a shaman is to support my community. And the more I can expand my community, the better it is for everybody. So that's my thinking anyway. And if you enjoy my work, or you get something out of tonight and you want to reciprocate or just support your friendly neighborhood shaman, I have pinned to the top of the comments my PayPal and my Venmo links. And I am more than grateful, just so deeply grateful for anyone that contributes to my well-being. So, kind of the best of both worlds. So, let's get to some cards. Oh, hi Emerald. I was just gonna say, I know tonight, I think tonight was a breath. There's a whole group that watch my videos that have a breath work class, and Emerald is the leader of it. So yay! So there might be a few more people coming on any minute now. So we'll go ahead and get started. So Anna, you are first. I was just watching a documentary on Gene Kelly, so Sing It in the Rain in my head. Ba, bum, bum, ba, bum. All right. Card number 1. Oh, awesome. It was a busy night tonight, Emerald. You know, it's funny because I have this monthly class with Lisa Williams, who is a well-known psychic medium, and I had a huge release with her class. She does a healing class once a month, and I had a huge, powerful experience with her tonight too. So awesome. All right, card number 1 for Anna. You got Lizard in reverse. It's funny, I did 3 or 4 readings today already, and I think Lizard popped up in every single one. So Lizard is the dreamer. Lizard is the one, you know, he sits on his rock all day long. Oh, hey, Valerie. Awesome. So, Lizard is the one that sits on his rock all day, just soaking in the sun, right? And you think he's totally oblivious. You think he's sleeping, but what he's actually doing is dreaming. And there's actually a story that goes with Lizard that, you know, he was doing that. He was just sitting there on a stone and just basking in the sun. And Coyote came up to him and goes, "What are you doing?" And Lizard replies, "Well, I'm dreaming." And Coyote was like, "So you're napping? You're sleeping?" And Lizard's like, "No, I'm dreaming. Sleeping is going into unconscious. I am dreaming. I am actively creating my future. I am actively manifesting, actively visualizing. I am creating." And Coyote goes, "Well, how do you know I'm not here to eat you?" And Lizard replied, "Because I dreamt you earlier, and I dreamt you with a full belly." So, it took me a long time to figure out the meaning of that story, and now I love it so much because I had a personal experience where I was out, I'd gone out in the woods for kind of a personal retreat, spiritual retreat, and I'm out in the woods, there's no one else around, it's, you know, really late, it's really dark, and I'm just sitting here by myself doing a ceremony, and I heard some rustling in the bushes and stuff. And I started kind of freaking out, like, oh my God, what if it's a bear? What if it's a cougar? What if they're going to come and eat me? And then I remembered lizard medicine, and then boom, the full meaning of that story hit me. In that my life is the dream, your life is the dream, and you are the dreamer, right? And so, on the one hand, why would I dream into my reality getting eaten by a bear? Why would I do that? What, you know, how would that be helpful? So I could relax knowing that most likely it wasn't a bear or a cougar. And on the other hand, if it did happen to be a bear or a cougar, then like that is a significant turning point. That's not just by accident. If I were attacked by a cougar or a bear, that is like a life change, a turning point, right? In which case there is meaning and purpose to it, so I could just relax and let go about that as well. Because it's kind of like that old saying about, you know, God never gives you more than you can handle. Well, you're the one who's dreaming your world into reality. So there is nothing that is going to just come out of the blue and overtake you. There's nothing that is going to happen in your life that is more than you can handle, because you're the one actively dreaming it into reality. And so, you know, even in a night dream, like if you can face it, you can handle it. There's nothing you can't handle. So it's kind of like it's bringing that power back, calling your power back, knowing that there are no accidents, that, you know, if something big is going to happen, it's going to happen with or without your conscious allowance, right? So you might as well just surrender, trusting the universe that, you know, if there's some big change going to happen in your life, then there's purpose there and there's a reason. And hi, Jennifer. Awesome. And so either way, you can just chill out, right? You can just surrender, knowing that whatever happens is a reflection of you. And so it may not seem like it at first, but you always have everything you need to handle anything that happens. Shoot, I was going to say something else. Okay, well, maybe it'll come back. The other thing, especially with Lizard in reverse, is dream bigger. Dream bigger, right? You've been doing your work. You've been doing, if you're watching this, you are somewhere on your path. You've learned the basics. You know how to manifest. You know all of those kind of things, law of attraction, whatever language or labels you want to put on any of it. But you have at least the knowingness, even if you haven't mastered the art of manifesting, you understand it and you know that it's a thing, right? And for most of us, and I'm including myself in here because this is a big lesson for me lately. The way I see it in my own life is that I've learned to quit sweating the small stuff. I know that I can create, I can manifest whatever I need, right? I'm a small business, so, you know, finances kind of go up and down, but somehow every month the rent gets paid, and I have groceries, and I have a roof over my head. And so I'm in that place where I know I can, even if I get freaked out a little bit, even if I get a little anxious about, oh my God, where's it going to come from kind of thing, I still deep down know that that I will be provided everything I need. But it's been occurring to me, why am I keeping it on the survival level? Why am I only dreaming into reality just like baseline necessities? Why aren't I aiming higher? Why am I not creating more? And I'm not talking about, you know, a villa in Italy somewhere, or, you know, having homes all over the world and jets. I'm not talking about being exuberantly rich or anything, but just creating a world where it isn't every month having to consciously manifest rent or manifest groceries. You know, it's like aim for more, because we're meant to be joyful. Your life is meant to be joyful. You're meant to have fun and just creating abundance in your life. Abundance isn't just money. Abundance is love. Abundance is groceries. Abundance is friendship. Abundance is opportunities to grow, or social events, all of that kind of stuff. But if you're just focusing on survival level stuff, you're not creating. Yes, I know I am rich. Not necessarily in the conventional way, but I have everything I need, right? I don't need to be out in the bars every night, or, going to the latest openings and different things. But I can still create abundance. And it's interesting because I just saw this video, I believe yesterday or the day before. And I think it was a Buddhist monk. And he had a glass and he had a pitcher of water. And he was like, okay, this is the way it usually works. And he fills the water glass. He's like, so you fill up your glass, and then he poured it out. And he said, and then you pour it out to help someone else. And then you have to refill your own before you can help someone else. And he said, that's the way we usually do it. Then he said, the way it's supposed to happen, he had the empty glass again, he started pouring the water in, and he just kept pouring and pouring and pouring. Pretty soon the glass was full, and the water was overflowing. And he's like, that's how it's supposed to happen. Your glass is supposed to stay full. You're not supposed to empty your glass to fill someone else's. You're supposed to keep your glass full, so that overflow is what feeds others. And so that's kind of the point I'm getting to. It's like I have good luck, and then I have not so good luck. It's like I just got a vision of the laughing face and the tragic face from theater, right? As like up and down. Oh crap, where's the rent come? Woohoo, it manifested. Okay, now where's the next rent coming from? Woohoo, it manifested. Instead of those ups and downs, it's like filling your glass so that those things are always taken, they're always taken care of, but there's an ease and a grace there that doesn't happen. And so what results from that is that all that energy that you're spending trying to focus on just getting your basic needs met, all that energy is freed up for you to do more magnificent things, to create greater things, and to be of more service, right? The more overflow you have, the more people can. It's like one of those champagne towers, right? You fill up the top glass, it overflows and starts to fill up the next ones, which overflow and fill up. It's like, that's how it's supposed to happen. And if you have enough, if you're not in survival mode, so you don't have to focus on survival, then you're able to thrive, and all that energy you focus on trying to create the basics can go toward fulfilling your dreams, fulfilling your passions. So again, the message is dream bigger. Another aspect of Lizard, especially in reverse, is the idea of that you may need to sacrifice something to get where you're going, but you can't lose anything that is essentially you, that is a part of you. If lizard's attacked by a predator, they can drop their tail, right? They sacrifice, they give up their tail, and that keeps the predator busy, well, the lizard can skedoodle. And then the tail grows back, right? So you may have to give something up for, just temporarily. And if it doesn't come back, it never was a part of you, and you're better off for not having it. And if it is a part of you, it will come back, because you can't lose anything that is in your essence, if that makes sense. And so in our society, we have a really hard time resting. We have a really hard time with stillness. Like think about lizard just sitting there on that rock, right? And we're like, okay, well, I'm going to relax, and then we get busy doing something else, and then okay, well, now I'm going to relax, and then something else catches our attention. We do something else. Again, we keep setting our energy to do these other tasks, and we're not taking the time we need to regenerate. We're not taking the time or the space we need to dream, right? We think it's lazy. If we're going to take the day off, we're going to sleep in, we're going to take a nap. Oh my God, that is so lazy, and that is so selfish. But it's not. It's what's necessary to dream, right? And the thing is, we start to think we're lazy, but if we're talking lizard medicine, lizard can sit on that rock for hours and not even twitch. You might think he's dead. But you take one step toward them, something threatening happens, choom, they're off like a shot. So it's like, if it was laziness, the lizard would be lethargic. Oh crap, I better get out of here. Okay, calm. No. Just because you're taking time to meditate, to nap, to rest, to daydream, it doesn't mean you're lazy, because as soon as you come out of that, choom, you're ready to go. So don't give yourself the space you need to be able to use your imagination to visualize, to daydream your greatest visions, okay? Don't sell yourself short. If you can dream it, you can become it, or you can have it. There are no limits. So, aim high. Like they say, it's like aim for the moon. Even if you miss, you still end up amongst the stars, right? And so, and okay, this is an interesting thought. I think I said this a few weeks ago, but whenever you are, let's see, give me a second. Like in music, like I had voice lessons in college, and one of the things I remember learning was, I would, like, there was a high note in the song I'm singing, I'd be like, like trying to stretch for it, trying to reach for it, but that doesn't, you don't get there then. You have to overshoot that note and come back down to it. You overshoot, you shoot for the higher and then settle into it. Kind of like Bruce Lee, when he talks about karate and kung fu, he talks about, like, when you're doing a punch, your target spot is not the other person's body. Your target is like 6 inches beyond the person, so that you're actually trying to punch through. You're reaching beyond where you're where you're going to end up, right? Yeah. So always dream bigger. Kind of like in the art world, they tell you because artists are notoriously undervaluing their own work, especially when it comes to selling their artwork. And so I was always told, okay, go to what you think your art is worth, and then add $50 or $100 to that. So it's like, don't try to sneak up on your dreams. Yes, yeah, Valerie, I'm still on card 1. It might be a long night. But Lizard, because Lizard's been coming up a lot lately for a lot of people, I just wanted to make sure that I covered all these different various aspects. So I hope one of those things resonated, Anna. But give yourself the time to rest. Give yourself the time to contemplate. And give yourself the gift of dreaming big. Bigger. Go as big as you can and then add to it. Think about, if money were not an obstacle, what would I want my world to look like? Because money tends to be the big obstacle. You're like, well, I can't really do what I want to do, so I'll just settle for this. Don't settle. You deserve, if you can dream something, that is a sign from the universe that you deserve it. You wouldn't even be aware of that desire or that dream if it weren't possible. Okay? Phew, okay. Yeah, I'm a little bit loquacious tonight. All right, card number 2 for Kristen. All right. Kristen, card number 2 is Grouse in reverse. When Grouse is Grouse is the spiral dance, which is the dance of life, the dance of vitality, right? Everything moves. Everything, even if it's sitting still, the atoms and the molecules are still dancing and swirling. In fact, I just found out recently that, when we talk about our heart and our blood, pumping our blood, I've always just pictured it just flowing through our veins, right? Just like a river. But it actually spirals through your veins. And the spiral is one of the oldest sacred symbols that we have. And part of that is because it's how we relate to all things. Everything exists in a spiral, from the biggest super galaxies to thunderstorms and hurricanes, to pine cones and flowers and seashells and our DNA. So, in other words, the spiral is what connects you to all of creation. All right? Now, the thing is, with Grouse in reverse, it can be that sense of disconnection or feeling like everything is so overwhelming. I am just unimportant. I'm minuscule by comparison. I'm not important. I don't play a role. Nothing that I do matters. But nothing could be further from the truth. Like I was saying for Anna, it's dreaming. How do I put this? Whatever makes you feel happy or joyful or like raises your vitality, makes you passionate, that is your compass. That is the spiral dance. That's how you know you are on your spiral dance. Because you were born with a purpose. You are not an accident. You are not insignificant. That spiral that is the universe depends on you. And I don't mean to make that sound like heavy, like no pressure. But it's like, if you think of an orchestra, right? And all the different instruments, and even within like certain instruments, there's different levels, right? I used to play trombone in the school band, and I was always, it was like first trombone, second trombone, and third trombone, and I was always in third trombone. But like, so even within the specific instruments, there's different parts to play, and they're all necessary, right? You might not notice them. They might not be louder than anything else, but if they were missing, you would notice it. And that is the way the universe, universe, right? One song, the orchestra of life. You play a vital part of that. And your vital part, your purpose, is whatever brings you joy. That's how you raise your vibration. And we're talking music, which is all vibration, right? And so don't play small. The time for playing small is over. It's time for you to dance. It's time, like that, if you see that little red thing on the side of Grouse's neck, that's an air sac, and there's one on the other side. And when they're doing their dance and drumming, they drum their wings. It's amazing. But when they're doing that, those air sacs blow up bigger than his head. And so it's like dancing as if no one's looking, or like your true colors. It's allowing your true colors to show. Because those are, watching the comments, I have a hard time reading them and keep going, but you guys are funny. So you have to do, it's like, whatever is for your betterment is for the betterment of everyone. And we're taught to hide our talents. We're taught that our talents are just a hobby. Oh, you could never make a living at it, whatever. And that is simply not true. You came here to dance. To find your own drum beat. Yes, let your freak flag fly. Absolutely. Let your true colors show. Let those big red air sacs blow up. Drum to your heart's content. Dance like there's no tomorrow. Because, we're all like stars. And I don't mean like Hollywood stars. I mean like stars in the sky. Your energy field, your aura, right? You're radiating this light and this love. And the more whole, the more fully we can radiate it in all directions, the higher our frequency is. And when our frequency is high, we draw people up with us, right? I mean, when there's a band going, if you're someplace and there's live music, and there's a good beat going in the music, you can't help but start to stomp your feet, right? It's like it draws you in. And so part of your job, your responsibility, what you came here to do is to find your freak flag and to fly it. Because even if other people don't have the same freak flag, you're having the presence and the confidence and the wherewithal to fly yours makes it okay for someone else, kind of gives them permission to fly their freak flag, whatever it is, right? And so, what the world needs is more passionate people. It doesn't need more people that are going to play small, toe the line. We need people who are willing to live out loud. And like I said, those desires, those passions that you have, those are gifts of the divine to lead you on your path. That is your purpose. Whatever it is that makes you happy, that makes you joyful, that makes you want to dance. And here I am. I was just watching Gene Kelly and Singing in the Rain. It's like no matter what the world is around you, even if it's raining, it's like you carry the sun in your heart and you're ready for love. Bum, ba, 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 bum. So allow yourself to dance. Allow yourself, whatever it is. If you think about, like I like to think about my teachers from like high school and college and stuff, and the ones I remember the most were the ones who were passionate, the ones who loved what they did, and I mean, I had, how do I put it? I was an art major. I've got a BA in art, but I acquiesced to my parents and they thought I needed to take some computer so that I had an actual career waiting for me. And especially back then, it was like DOS, is that the language? It was like very basic. It was years before the internet. And I didn't like computers, but I loved my computer prof. They actually called him Jumping Jim because he would get so excited about the future and about computers and all the possibilities. He would actually end up standing on top of his desk and he would bounce up and down as he was talking because he was so excited. That is the kind of people we need in the world to help give permission to all the rest of the people to allow themselves to be passionate. I mean, I could listen all day. I don't care what your passion is. I can listen to anyone who is talking about their passion. I can listen all day long because it's the passion that is contagious and inspiring, right? So for the sake of the world, focus on what brings you joy. The world needs you. You are I was going to say intimate, that's not the word. Intrinsic part of the universe. What you do and who you are is essential to the rest of the universe. It's a spectrum, right? And each level, each frequency supports the next frequency. So never sell yourself short. Never feel you are unimportant, insignificant. Okay? Let your freak flag fly. All right, card number 3. Yeah, I'm a little loquacious tonight. But that's my passion, so there. Ha ha! All right, card number 3. Emerald. If you couldn't tell that I'm passionate about this stuff. All right, Emerald, card number 3. You're so welcome, Kristen. I hope that helped. I believe in you. You can do anything that you set your mind to, that you set your heart to. All right. So, card number 3. For Emerald. You guys saw me shuffling, right? And I did the big shuffle at least twice, and then I shuffled card number 3, same as the one before it. Emerald, you've got grouse in reverse as well. Okay, give me a second. Let me talk to grouse and find out what is the specifics for you. Oh my God! I just got the image of Richard Simmons in my head. I think for you, grouse in reverse is about keeping moving. Like I was saying with the spiral, right? Everything moves in the spiral. If something stops moving, it's dead, right? Even stones, right? Like the atoms in a stone are still vibrating. They're still moving. They're still dancing. And so, for you, I think it's like more about actually physical movement. Keep it like physically dancing or doing Qigong or Tai Chi or something like that to get that energy moving, so that otherwise I don't know everything that's going on with you. I think I remember seeing something on, or Valerie told me a little bit of some hardships you've been having. It's really easy to get overwhelmed and kind of plowed under. So when you start to feel that, even just go for a walk. Disco. Staying alive, staying alive. Hi, Kika. You want up? So yeah, just dance. Well, even the breath work you do is part of that, right? It's like you're getting that energy moving. You are physically moving and pushing energy, right? So I don't know if you know Qigong or Tai Chi or anything. Maybe get yourself an old Richard Simmons tape and sweat to the oldies for a while every morning. It's like, yeah, like it feels like there's a tendency for things to start slowing down, and you want to be the one setting the beat, right? Like I said, grouse drum, when they beat their wings, they create the same phenomenon as thunder, literally. They beat their wings in such a way that they create this vacuum, and then the air slams back together. So they are literally creating drum beats and rhythms into the forest. And so you want to be the one generating those beats, that rhythm. I remember seeing what, Valerie? Richard Simmons revival. Yeah. I love Richard Simmons. Rest his soul. but whatever you can do, or laugh. Laughter instantly raises your frequency. Laughter really, truly is the best medicine. When you're laughing, it floods your system with endorphins and all kinds of good stuff. It raises your frequency, and so like that's another part of the Richard Simmons thing, right? I can't watch him without laughing. He is so hilarious. If you've ever seen the episode of Whose Line Is It Anyway that he guest stars on, it is one of the funniest things ever. Yeah, exactly. You haven't been walking as much as you used to. Even if it's just walking, just to get that beat, get that movement going. That makes all the difference in the world. When I was going through a really tough time of panic attacks and anxiety and depression, and I went back to stay with my parents for a couple of months. And this was in Minnesota in the middle of the winter time, January. It's like, you know, you could get frostbite within a number of minutes, but I still, every single day, I got myself up and there was this 2-mile walk down to this park, and I did that every single day. It gave me something to look forward to. It got my energy moving. It got me out of my head. It cleared my thoughts. And then I was outside, even in this heavy cold. I was able to stand there. There was a little bridge over this little frozen stream, and I would stand in the middle of the bridge and talk to my spirit guides. And so whatever you can do, walk, dance, skate, sweat to the oldies, laugh, do any of those that call to you. You know, because I'm trying to remember, there was a meme someplace a long time ago that was like, when you hit a certain level, you're no longer dependent on the vibrations around you, because you become like a power station emitting your own vibrations. And when things overwhelm us or get too heavy, or we forget to laugh and all of that kind of stuff, then we start to give in to the vibes around us, and then, you know, we might be happy when the sun comes out, and then we go into depression when the rain comes out. But you want to sing it in the rain, just sing it in the rain. What a glorious feeling, I'm happy again. So dance, sing, laugh, whatever you can do to raise that frequency. And you'll be amazed at how much just that little energy boost changes everything. Okay? Whew. All right. Card number 4. Hi, Missy. This is Kira, for those who may not have met her yet. How are you, Missy? You gonna help? Here, wait, hold on. I actually have a blanket set up here next to me on the table so that she can come up and lay down if she wants to. Go ahead. Go ahead. Pretty girl. All right, card number 4 for Valerie. Just singing and dancing in the rain. They did a really cool video a while back. Oh, I'm so glad. You are so welcome, Emerald. I'm glad it resonates. they did a video a long time ago, but they took Paddington Bear, and they filmed Paddington doing the entire Singing in the Rain routine with the Gene Kelly soundtrack behind him. It was awesome. All right, Valerie, card number 4. All right, like we're getting like everything's coming up reverse tonight, which is okay. It means that things are moving. If things are in reverse, it means there's space opening up for things to happen. And Valerie, you got Bat in reverse. Bat is rebirth, and when Bat shows up, it can be, you can feel like you're standing on shaky ground. Everything you used to rely on, everything that used to support you, is starting to be shaky. And so, like I've said before, so instead of grounding downward to the earth, be like that with your feet in the ceiling of the cave and ground upward. Ground to spirit, ground to your essence, ground to your divinity. Because that is the only stability, that is the only foundation that is true. And as things are falling apart, it kind of like what I said earlier with Lizard and his tail. It's like if things are falling apart, try your best to let them go. Because your world, you've outgrown your old world. Bat goes into the cave, and the cave is the womb of the Earth Mother. It's like you're being held in the womb, awaiting rebirth. And so, like, you've outgrown your old world, you're back in the womb to be reborn into a new one. And the thing is, your old world wouldn't be shaking up if there weren't a better, bigger world moving in. You know, it's like a snake shedding its skin, right? The skin, the only reason that the skin sheds is because the snake outgrows it. It's got brighter, more, shinier skin growing, and it's that new skin growing that sheds the old skin. And so it's kind of along that lines. Everything that's falling apart is making way, making space for your new life to come in. It's kind of like we've talked before about, whenever I schedule a soul retrieval for someone, I like to schedule it out a couple of weeks, because the moment that we set that intention by setting the date and the time is when the healing starts. And when that healing for a soul retrieval starts, it's like those soul parts that have left or fragmented and are floating out there somewhere start to move back in. And so there's that, I like to leave that space of time so that, because when those parts start to move in, it's like sitting into a full bathtub, things come out, right? And so the things that, it's like as that healing is moving in, there's these things that are ready to come into your life, but you need to make space for them. And so everything that's not working is being shed to make space for that other stuff to come in. Granted, it is not, I thought, oh yeah, you're just, You're just having a rebirth. Everything is fine. Everything's just, it's falling apart. Just let it go. I'm not trying to be all rainbows and unicorns. Well, I guess I am because that's me. But it's not easy, right? And like I said earlier, I don't remember which card, but it was the lizard. Nothing is going to happen that will totally take you out. Nothing is going to happen that will destroy you. In reverse, it can be kind of overwhelmed by all the changes. Basically, the Tower card, right? And things falling apart, this big crisis, and people are falling out of windows, and the tower is crumbling, and it can be overwhelming and scary, and there is that need within there to grieve the loss of what's going away. But also part of the pain, part of the peeling away of the old life is and being in the dark is to get you to start navigating from the heart, start navigating from your intuition. And I know how intuitive you are. I know how powerful you are. And so it's kind of like leaning into those powers, really trusting your intuition, really following those synchronicities. It's no longer just theory. It's time to apply all the things you've learned up to this point. Because there is a big, wide world waiting for you. And, you know, this is one of those things, one of those cards where I always try to put the happy spin on it, but I also don't want to candy coat things. You know, the spiritual path is difficult. The spiritual path is hard. And it does require constant death and rebirth. And so I think being aware of the process, even if it hurts, even if it is hard, at least being aware of what's going on helps at least a little bit, right? It kind of takes the edge off. And to remember that, you know, it's like this is a great time to make a list of all the things in your life that have worked out up to this point. You know, technically, everything has worked out. You're still here, right? You're a success. You're still here. But like to make a list of all the times where you got like an intuitive hit and you followed it, and right, everything went rosy and happy. As a way to help you navigate this, to remind yourself how connected you are, how blessed you are, how charmed your life is, that miracles happen, that everything always works out for you. And that, like, I was just listening to Kyle Cease the other day, and he was talking about something he learned from Michael Beckwith, and that was like when things are falling apart, the question isn't to ask, how do I fix this? The question is to ask, what is trying to emerge from this? What is trying to be born from this? Because from chaos comes order, from death comes birth. So So keep that hope alive. Exactly. Making space is a process, and I know how shaky things have been, and I know I'm part of it. So, but I believe in you as well, and I know without going to, well, everything happens for a reason. I'm not trying to say that and throw it off into a cliche, but everything that happens does have a purpose. And that purpose is to shape you and to help you grow and evolve into your full potential of who you came here to be in this lifetime. Okay? Kind of along the lines of that Nietzsche saying, what doesn't kill me only makes me stronger. It might hurt. It might take you to your knees. It might be within an inch of your life, but yeah, shadow work. Definitely. You're in the shadow. You're in the cave. There is no light. And so it's like forcing you to have to navigate by your heart, by the light within. Like I was saying earlier, right? That light within you, bringing that light into the darkness. So I hope that's at least a little bit helpful. All right, card number 5, and our last one is like we only got 5 people tonight, which is fine because I've been talking up a storm and probably would be here till midnight if I had anybody else come in. But so Jennifer, you are card number 5. Thank you guys for taking time out of your day, out of your night, out of your lives to spend. You're so welcome, love. Spend with me. I so appreciate it. I look forward to this every week. It means a lot to me. So, all right, Jennifer. Holy crap. Jennifer, you got the grouse reversed as well. And I shuffled, and I don't know if you saw, it was like I was getting ready to pull a card, and my guide said, no, one more time, choot, choot, choot. So, Jennifer, your card is grouse in reverse. So let me just, like, I could pull a dozen grouse for a dozen different people, and each one would be totally different. Okay, Jennifer, the message I got, I kind of giggled a little bit. Trifecta, yeah. The grouse trifecta. The grouse hat trick. The words that came into my head, the message was birds of a feather. So all those things, everything I said earlier about grouse, can apply as well, but with you, I think the focus is kind of like that biblical saying about pearls before swine. It's like, don't dance to impress the world. Don't, like I was saying about the air sacs, the big red air sacs, letting your true colors show, finding your own dance, your own drum beat, dancing to your own drum beat. But do it for yourself. Dance like no one's looking. Dance, show your true colors. Let your freak flag fly. Only do it because it feels good. Do it because it brings you joy. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to justify yourself to anyone else. Right? It's birds of a feather. And by letting your freak flag fly, you draw to yourself those people who see you, who resonate to your drum beat. They have their own drum beat, but then it's like harmony, right? You start to jam, and you each have your own bit, but it's harmony. And so don't and I'm not saying that you're like a people pleaser, you're trying to impress people. It's more of it's finding that, how do I put it? In the past, you probably felt like an outcast, you felt like you didn't belong, everyone either made fun of you or didn't take you seriously because of your passions and your vibes, and so when that happens, we tend to we either downplay that passion, and we still follow that passion, but in a way that can be kind of self-deprecating. We kind of make fun of ourselves. So in a way, we're still able to exercise that passion, but because there isn't that outside validation, because no one has told you it's okay to do that, we're not taught how to give ourselves that permission, right? So this is about realizing that there is nothing wrong with you. There is nothing you need to hide about yourself. There is nothing about yourself to be ashamed of. A while back, I had this revelation, and growing up, a lot of times I felt like I was a disappointment to my family, to my parents, and because I couldn't live up to who they wanted me to be, who society wanted me to be, and so I shortchanged myself and felt like I was a disappointment. And then I realized I was never a disappointment. They were disappointed, but I was never the disappointment. The disappointedness was theirs. That was their issue. It was their perspective, and it had nothing to do with me. Does that make sense? And so to let go of anything anyone ever said about, oh, you can't do that, or you're silly or stupid or any of those other kind of things. Let your freak flag fly. Give yourself permission. You are sovereign in your reality, in your world. There is no one who has the authority to tell you otherwise. No one has the authority to tell you you're stupid or that's dumb and why do you do that. They don't have to understand it. But if it's calling to you and it makes your heart happy, that's all the authority you need. Because that feeling is a gift from Creator telling you this is what you are meant to do. okay? You don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't have to justify yourself. You don't have to put yourself down or hide it. You don't have to try to convince others that what you love and what you're passionate about is okay. They're not going to get it. Those who do get it will be the birds of a feather who flock with you. And like Dr. Seuss said, those who mind don't matter. Those who matter don't mind. So dance your dance. Let your true colors show. And if people don't like it, they'll go someplace else. They have no authority over you. And those who stay, those are your people. That's your flock. Okay? And if you need permission, you have my permission to be wholly and fully and completely yourself. As your friendly neighborhood shaman, I give you permission to be yourself fully and completely and authentically to the nth degree. Okay? We need you to be that authentic, passionate, crazy self. Okay? So I hope that is helpful. I hope that resonated. 3 grouse. Wow. It's just interesting. And 3 is such a powerful number too. So that is, so we only had 5 cards tonight, so we're going to call it an evening. I'm going to pull one more card for the community, whether you had a personal card or not. This will be the one card that we have in common, that one animal that is going to walk or fly or crawl with us through this week. And while I'm shuffling, just to remind you that these videos obviously are free. My only request is that you share them. You can tag people in the comments. You're welcome, Jennifer. My pleasure. You can share them to someone else's page. You send it Messenger, but please share. Sharing is caring. Get my voice out there. I'd love to be able to have to do this like a whole nother night, because there's so many people that want readings. That's me. That's the lizard, reverse lizard, like, dream big. I would love to be out there helping as many people as I possibly can. I feel like I have to qualify that. I don't mean help because I'm powerful and I know what's right. I mean just if I can help people feel just a little bit better, just a little more empowered than when they first came to me, then I've done my job. And if I can change someone's perspective or shine my light on something they didn't notice or whatever it is, then that is doing my job. And beyond that, if you do wish to support your friendly neighborhood shaman, or you feel like you want to reciprocate, you got some good answers, good messages tonight, I have my PayPal and Venmo up, links up pinned to the top of the comments. And again, thank you so much to all of those who donate on a regular basis. When I started doing these videos, I wasn't even thinking about that. And I wasn't ever counting. I still don't count on that. So it's a real happy surprise when it happens. And I thank you so very much. The only other thing I think, Wednesday nights, if you're not aware, I do another video at 7 o'clock right here on my Perching Wolf Studios page. I do a sacred pipe ceremony, which is the, like the peace pipe that you see in the old westerns, the sacred pipe, the Chanupa. I am a pipe carrier, and I do a pipe ceremony every Wednesday night online to help hold space so that in the middle of your week you can let go of the world, connect to spirit, send up prayers and intentions as a break to all the heaviness in your week. So you can check that out. I'd love to have you there. And when we're done here, I'm going to share this to my Facebook page so you can watch it again. You can choose a different number and see what that card has said, although you have 3/5 of a chance of getting the same card. And I will also upload it. I have a Perching Wolf Studios YouTube channel, and where I have over 4 years worth of these kind of videos. So if you need some guidance, or you need some ceremony, you need some quiet, serenity, and ceremony, you can go to my Perching Wolf Studios YouTube channel and watch any of the videos there. And if you enjoyed this and you would like a full-on personal reading, you can visit my website, perchingwolfstudios.net. You can see all the different shamanic services I have to offer, readings and healings and teachings. Oh my! And you can set up a session with me right from there. So check that out. You get to know me a little bit better. I've got links to my various blogs. I've got comics and graphic novels I've written and drawn. I do one-on-one mentoring for people if you want to learn the shamanic path, etc. Lots of good stuff. So, okay. One more card. Ha-ha! This one came up right. We got skunk. So the community card for the week is skunk. And skunk is about reputation. And it's basically paying attention. It so fits with some of the stuff I said earlier, because as you're radiating your unique frequency into the world, you're drawing whatever resonates with that frequency back to you. So it's about owning your energy, paying attention to what you're sending out into the world, right? And not blaming everybody else, not blaming others. It's like, whatever happens, your feelings in response to what someone else does or says or something that happens, that is yours. Those are your feelings. And you have the ability, like the black and the white, a skunk, that discernment, that yin-yang, the harmony, the balance of the masculine and feminine. You have everything within you to balance it out. Like, one of my favorite stories is of the Buddha when he went to the Bodhi tree, sat under the Bodhi tree, and he had tried every possible path to enlightenment, and nothing worked. So he sat underneath the Bodhi tree and he said, I am sitting here till I'm either dead or enlightened. And as he sat, his frequency started to rise. He started to connect all the creation. His light got brighter. He started to radiate love and light in every direction. And the king of the demons saw this, and he was like, we can't have this. He's going to start waking other people up, and people are going to realize how powerful they are, and then we won't be able to get in there. And so he called all his troops, and they sent arrows and bombs and flaming boulders and everything they could think of at the Buddha. But because the Buddha owned his energy, because the Buddha was complete and whole, anything the demons sent at him, the arrows, the boulders, they would hit his energy and they would turn into flowers and they would shower at his feet. In other words, no matter what is happening, you have the power and the ability to turn it to a strength, to learn from it, to become stronger from it, to own it, so that you become this potent energy battery that can take care of themselves, right? When Skunk comes down the path, everyone knows who's coming and they know how to treat him. And so when you are unified in your energy and you're giving off those frequencies, people might see you coming and run for the hills. That's fine. It's like your energy clears your path before you so that you don't have to deal with those things, right? And so have fun with that. And thank you again for joining me. Thank you for spending time with me. Thank you again for your support of me and my work. And I hope you'll come on Wednesday. If not, I hope to see you again next Monday night. We'll do this all over again. But until then, know that I love you, that I see you, and that I honor you. Hey, have a wonderful week, everyone, and go shining. Bye now. Bye, Kira.